Hi, I'm going to recap Parenthood Season 6, Episode 3, entitled The Waiting Room. Now, this title refers to the waiting room of Zeke's surgery. So, we know Zeke has made his decision. He's going to have the surgery because he's had a talk with Amber and he wants to be there for his great-grandchild's birth. He's going to be there for Amber. He's very, very close with his granddaughter, and so this is really his motivation. However, he is terrified. He really believes that he will not make it out of this surgery. It's a serious surgery, but you think that the cardiologists have done it multiple times, and so there should be reduced risk, right? But then you see all of the Bravermans, sitting there. They're all just so nervous. Camille she just needs like a good 2 minutes after Zeke is wheeled into surgery to like calm herself down and to take it all in and breathe before she can actually face her children again, because she's been putting on a brave face for Zeke, telling him it's gonna be fine, I'll see you once you get out. But, she's actually really scared. She talks about, the parts of her marriage vows that are difficult, and she says, this is the sickness and in health, and this one is the hard one, because we've been through richer and for poor, like in season 1 when they had financial problems, or last year when they were selling the house. But, this is the tough one when you could actually lose someone. And I think this is a very relatable subject because most women lose their husbands because women usually live longer. So, of course, while she's saying this, everyone is thinking of paralleling Julia's marriage to this, the marriage vows that she made and how it's hard to get through them. And so we transition into Joel and Julia's situation. He went to see Zeke before his surgery, before anyone else showed up, so that he wouldn't have to run into any Bravermans. But he runs into Julia, and, he wants to talk, and she's like, I don't really want to talk, and she tells him that she's seeing someone. Now, this confirmation that she is actually dating comes from her lawyer friend, who I'm still calling not Joel, because that's all he's significant for, is just he's not Joel. He's flirting with her, talking about her dad, reminiscing about the old college days, and he sends her a waiting room survival kit, complete with her favorite study snack, Twizzlers. And so Julie's like, oh, that's so touching. And so when Joel calls and he wants to talk, she says, I'm dating someone, and literally you see Joel for a good 30 seconds just sitting there on the phone like, So clearly this is hitting him hard, and I think it's finally hitting him what his moving out has done to his family. Like, his wife is literally dating somebody else. They're not even divorced yet. And next week we're gonna see Julia saying maybe we should tell the kids we're not getting back together. Joel, you need to do something quick! In the midst of the waiting room hourglass, Adam gets a phone call, and Crosby has to take care of this luncheonette problem. So, their band that they're representing, Oliver, the lead singer, he's kind of a flake. Apparently he's somewhere in Albuquerque, or he's not in Albuquerque and he's supposed to be. I don't know, they have a gig or something, and they're going to blow their contract, and with the mess of everything that's going on, Crosby just gets really frustrated, and he throws his phone, and then he gets on his motorcycle and just drives until he hits some sand patches, and then wipe out. When Crosby gets back, his father is out of a successful surgery. The cardiologists are really optimistic, and he's in ICU. And so all the Bravermans go, and they see him, and it's really emotional. Everyone's looking at, the monitors and all the tubes and everything in him, and it's, pretty scary when you first see someone you're close to like that. So in other news, Sarah is trying to bond with Hank's daughter Ruby, and they go to this convenience store where she steals a lip gloss. And Sarah tells this to Hank, and Hank's like, no, you must have seen it wrong, she doesn't do that. But then he finds out from his ex-wife Sandy, actually, yeah, this is a problem, and this is why I need you to be there for her and not Sarah. So there may be a problem with Sandy and Sarah. Lastly, another huge thing Amber drove all the way to Wyoming, or she had her brother Drew drive her all the way to Wyoming to talk to her baby daddy Ryan. If we don't remember Ryan, he was the veteran that she was engaged to before he went back to service and then got discharged and is now living in Wyoming with his mother, which Amber didn't really like because he's always spoken very negatively about his home and his mom and his family. So, Amber goes there, and he's pretty messed up. You know, he's like sleeping, and his mother's nowhere to be found, and there's drugs on the table because, you know, he used to have a problem with the pills. Amber tells him that she's pregnant, and his reaction should have been, oh my god, I'm so messed up myself, how can I take care of a baby? But it was, oh my gosh, we're having a baby, that's gonna be so awesome, I'm gonna be a great dad. And at first Amber's like, yeah, I can help him. But then she has a talk with Drew, and Drew is really not liking Amber's idea of staying in Wyoming with this guy. You know, he's a very protective younger brother. And so he says, you know, he's not going to change. You know, you couldn't fix him by marrying him, and you're not going to fix him by having a baby with him. He's very, very, you know, emotional about this. And he says, he's just like Dad. And, you know, that's, now we're done. Now we're down the rabbit hole. Amber goes to talk again to Ryan, and she says, I need to do this alone because you're not ready. And this really gives him a wake-up call, you know, I mean, he just found out she's pregnant, like, today, and he's already like, alright, I'm gonna get off the drugs, I'm gonna clean up my act, and, you know, maybe he will, and, you know, she's gonna return with Drew, but maybe he'll eventually get there and eventually be able to help her with the baby. But as of right now, Amber's made the decision. Next week, we're going to see some more Sandy and Sarah tension. Next week, we're going to see Joel and Julia want to tell the kids they're not getting back together. Next week, we're going to see how Zeke is recovering from the surgery. Finally, we're going to see Max with a new love interest. And of course, with his Asperger's, he is going to need advice. So let's see how Adam tackles that. Alright, see you next week, guys.